Thank you everybody for coming to our TKGenius Event Lights, Camera, Growth. We've kind of done this format quite a few times over the years. You know, take a little bit of time, let's learn about some piece of the marketing world, right? And then have some fun, drink some bourbon, eat some snacks. So this is kind of just our newest iteration. We plan on doing one of these once a quarter, so keep your eyes open for the invites for those. They're going to be focused on likely different aspects of marketing. Today's video production and how businesses can use video for growth. And we'll kind of give an idea of what future topics might be here towards the end. So we'll go ahead and get started with our panelists. So everyone say hi to Rich Craig. He's the managing partner over at 415 Group, longtime partner of ours. We really appreciate him being here to kind of share his experience with video production with TKG and as well as with his company, how it's kind of helped him grow and connect with his audiences. And then Dexter Ponder, our video content creator here at TKG. Dexter's been doing video production for 20-some years. So he's got a lot of good experience that he's going to share with us today. Sure. I promise I'm not texting. I do have my questions on here. So if I look down at my phone, that's
Can I have a copy of those real quick?
Yeah. All righty. So we'll hop right into discussion. So for our panelists, this is kind of for both of you guys. You know, what common misconceptions do you see about using video in marketing, and how would you address them here today?
I guess I'll go first on this one. Some misconceptions is putting out way too much content. There's so many channels out there for content to go on. You have 4 or 5 different social media channels, YouTube, websites. Like, you got to put the content on it, and you can use the same content across all platforms. The same person will never see it. One person that likes your TikTok is not going to be on your Instagram or your LinkedIn. And so putting that content out to individuals over and over again is only going to hit that button more and more for them. And it takes them 5 times to see your stuff before they realize, oh, I might need that service. And so that's one way that the misconceptions that pop up.
You guys are going to have to bear with me. I mean, they asked an accountant to talk about video today, so you're going to get a very skewed, any of you guys that are actually selling products, you're going to get a very skewed answer. But I think we got into video with you guys probably 10 plus years ago. I think the conception we had at the time was it's only for large companies, right? It wasn't for small, mid-sized companies. At that point, we probably had 40, 50 people. I don't know what we had. And just didn't think it was going to be right for us. So obviously, after we got into it a little bit, and I'm sure we'll share some of the stories, it was a major impact. So it's not just for the big companies. Really, it's for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks. So kind of looking at, video strategy, some high-level things, Dexter. So for businesses just starting with video, what are kind of the most critical elements for them to focus on? What do you need to get right? What are some things that maybe don't matter as much or people don't notice as much?
Yeah. When it comes to video content, the quality and consistency is a big thing because you kind of want to keep hitting that same, you're getting your name out there over and over again. And like when I say, if you're scrolling on your phone at night and you're watching a video, you listen to the audio. Without good audio, people are going to keep scrolling on that video and they're going to keep going and not want to watch it. And you also have 7 seconds to get their attention. If you don't catch them or loop them in that first 6 or 7 seconds, you're scrolling or moving on to the next video. And that goes for YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok. So staying consistent with your brand image there at the beginning to make sure they know who you are off top and keeping them tied in and hooked in is a way to just keep that person watching your video content over and over again.
So you mentioned 6 to 7 seconds there. I know when I'm doom scrolling TikTok, right, it could be a matter of a half a second, right? When I go, nope, that's not for me. So how do you see that being addressed since we're consuming so much more short form video as opposed to that long form YouTube stuff?
Yeah, it kind of goes back and forth. When you click on that video, if you see the person, like if you know the person, you're more likely to watch it. So if you're doing something with that client or with your client and they're liking your stuff over and over again and you're gearing towards them, they're going to watch it more. But it's just the algorithm, like making sure you hit your mark and you're tagging things correctly and putting your hashtags on it so that person sees it when they search, for whatever they're searching for, like a nice pair of shoes. you type in Nike, like you want to make sure that if your video has Nike in it, you hashtag them so they know, oh, this was part of that same chain. I mean, it's hard. It's a social media world, and you got 6 seconds. And 6 seconds, you know, it's dwindling down now to, you know, you said 1 or 2 seconds. So, I mean, you all do it. You scroll. How fast do you scroll? You know, you're seeing 10 to 15 things in a minute. And so.
Also, for everyone's awareness, we are recording this today, so you don't have to take notes necessarily. So for Rich, how has incorporating video changed the way that you at 415 Group communicate and connect with your audiences?
You know, we live in as tax accountants, it's a very complex world. And lately, every time there's a new regime, a new president, there's a new tax law. And it's really complex. And it's really hard to put in paper, black and white. So you need to really have that visual, you need to make the connection, you need to explain it to a person so that they can understand those complex issues. And that's where video's made a big difference. If I'm trying to talk about, if I start saying any code section, you guys are going to fall asleep. But you know, it's a matter of explaining what those are and how they impact your business.
Awesome. I remember right when I kind of started getting into the account management role, working with 415 Group, we had just completed a video for 415 Access, which I believe we're going to show here in a second. It does have Rich in it, and that's why he's sighing. But because I know that was kind of a different model from the typical CPA firm, how did video help you guys explain that to your audience? Like, here's why we're doing this.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great example. So 415 Access is a new division where it's a complete outsourcing of the accounting function, right? So we go in, we do your payables, receivables, payroll, we do all your bookkeeping, your CFO, soup to nuts. And that was a new offering for us. And it's just hard to explain to somebody exactly what it is on just putting it on paper because they think, hey, that's what accountants do. Well, we're not trying to do it after the fact. At the end of the month, you give me your checkbooks, we reconcile it. We're doing it as you go. And it was just a matter of trying to explain those services in 60 seconds, right?
Yep, absolutely. So we'll show a little bit of this here.
You know, 415 Access was an opportunity for us to go into the market and provide services to clients that were desperately needed. We look at 3 different types of businesses. The not-for-profit world is really big for us because you've got the directors that have a core passion for their service and their charity, but they're not good with debits and credits or the financial grants or those kind of things. They need somebody that can kind of provide a lot of that information. A lot of service businesses, you know, you get doctors, lawyers, all those kind of things that are using somebody that's part-time, so they're probably not getting accurate or timely information and probably not getting a lot of advice. And then lastly, there's the mid-sized business that has a full-time CFO, and so you're paying for that CFO level service even though he's still doing your bank rec and doing all those kind of things. So you're overpaying for some of the services that are below his pay scale. But 415 Access is our outsourced accounting division. Depending on the level of services you want from us, we may be your controller, your CFO, budgeting, forecasting, financial grant applications, everything across the board. When you subscribe to 415 Access, there's 3 different packages you can offer. Depending on which one you choose is going to be how much interaction you're going to have with those higher level of services, the controllers, the CFOs. We can do monthly meetings, we can do quarterly meetings, we can do annual meetings. It's how often we reconcile and how often do we actually have that communication to the owner as far as looking forward. We've been doing the outsourced accounting now full time for a little over 2 years. We've got really good feedback from a lot of our clients. Things that our clients really like is since we're outsourcing, it's not one person, right? We never get sick. We never take vacation. We don't have any of those kind of issues. And as your business continues to grow, we can grow with you. You're never going to outgrow us as far as the capabilities that we can bring. So it gives you a lot of dynamic flexibility in how your accounting systems run. So in 2 minutes, you're able to explain a new service that nobody would have read all that.
Right. Appreciate it. Awesome.
Give them credit, not me.
Well, it's all about the face.
Yeah.
So kind of for both of you guys, what's just one thing about video marketing that has kind of surprised you as you've started working with it? Dexter, obviously, many moons ago. Rich?
For me, it was, I've been on camera a lot. I do a lot of expert testimony. I do a lot of video depositions. Cameras don't bother me. I was shocked, and I should not have been, because I work with 100 accountants, that nobody wanted to be on camera, right? And when they went on camera, they were expected to be perfect. They wanted to memorize their script. They wanted to do all this stuff. It wasn't natural. It wasn't everything else. But what we did is we gave everybody a commitment. Everybody wants to do one of these videos for us. They get final say. They get veto. They get to see the end result. And if they don't like it, I won't publish it. And so far, in all the years you've been working with us, haven't had a single person say no.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I would say, I mean, being in for so long, the changes in the video production world, when I first started, it was more commercial based, more long form documentaries or movies is what everybody wanted to strive to be. Now it's, if somebody can grab their, 7-second commercial for their business and put it out there, it could go 500,000-600,000 views like that instantly. And so that's pretty much the big change is like, you never know what's going to go viral tomorrow. It could be long form, it could be short form, but I do personally believe the longer 3 to 5 minute business brand videos are going to come back to be a good proponent because it explains what your brand is to people who really care and want to know about it. And once they know you or watch that video, they're going to want to buy your product or help you sell your product or whatnot.
Good sales pitch.
You like that?
I actually saw Dylan and Ethan back there in the back. They were shooting a video in the parking lot, right?
Were you?
So.
Nice. I mean, it works. Like when you put your content out there, you might get 100 or 200 or 1,000 or 10,000 views, but that one person, all it takes one person to see that and share it. Next thing you know, you're all over the favorites page of TikTok. So.
Yeah. Yep. So Dexter, to kind of get some tidbits, maybe a little bit of nuggets of wisdom here. What are some creative ways that you've seen businesses use video to connect with their audience and kind of stand out in the crowded space of video content these days?
I mean, I like shoes. Nike's commercials always hit me in the heart. They're always really well done. They bring all the emotion to the front. They want you to feel the emotion, and it's not that you're buying the shoe because the shoe's great. I buy the shoe because of the emotion that is portrayed by these commercials. And if you want to bring one up, I think I have one slated. But like this is.
If we show emotion, we're called dramatic. If we want to play against men, we're nuts. And if we dream of equal opportunity, delusional. When we stand for something, we're unhinged.
It's Super, it's gonna need to calm down.
When we're too good, there's something wrong with us. And if we get angry, we're hysterical or rational or just being crazy. But a woman running a marathon was crazy.
Officials tried to pull her off the course.
A woman boxing was crazy. A woman dunking? Crazy. Coaching an NBA team? Crazy. A woman competing in a hijab, changing her sport, landing a double cork 1080, or winning 23 Grand Slams, having a baby, and then coming back for more? Crazy, 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 and crazy. So if they want to call you crazy, fine. Show them what crazy can do.
They've been making those since Michael Jordan came out. Like his commercials back in the day where it just says emotional and that draws you to their brand. They didn't show their brand to the end. You didn't see one Nike logo until the end. Just like Red Bull. Red Bull never shows their logo in their video. It's just the feeling of Red Bull as a brand itself. And that's what we want to portray in your video, and you got 7 seconds. It caught me in the first 7. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but that initial music and build up keeps you watching throughout the whole thing.
So Rich, can you share kind of maybe a specific instance where a video campaign made a noticeable difference for 415 Group?
Yeah, man, it's been a long time. Probably 7 or 8 years ago, we worked with your team on trying to come up with a concept of, we know that when we pick up a new client, especially a larger client, we keep track of, hey, what were you unhappy with? What were your pains at your old CPA firm, all that kind of stuff. And we had a list of 4. 85% of the firm, of the new clients were coming over had one of these 4 problems. And so what you guys had suggested is that go out there and have the customers one customer you solved each one of those 4 problems, do a testimonial. And we were able to do that. And now it's, when somebody comes in, they said, oh, you know what, I'm struggling. I'm trying to go 2nd generation to 3rd generation of the family. I'm struggling with how to get succession planning done. Hey, no problem. We pull up the video, or they see it on our website in advance, and it's one of our customers talking about how we solved that exact problem. And that's been a real game changer for us, because now we don't have to sell ourselves. Somebody we already solved the problem for is selling on our behalf. So it's been phenomenal.
I'd like to make one more point. We do a lot of in-house animations here. We have a great animation guy who can do like full realistic animations, and I think that's another thing that is growing in the field. With AI and everything. Like, well, one, be careful with AI. Make sure you double check and make sure everything's right that you're getting from that source. But Matt does a great job. I think you have a quick clip of like his transition between like a real unit and an animated unit that shows you interiors.
Right. So let's pretend you have a really complicated piece of equipment, right? Being able to, and you'll see here in this video we did for APEC just recently, kind of peel back layers of that and show the inner workings of why that piece of equipment helps companies succeed, right? So Leslie, you can go ahead and play that.
Cattle management business
That's the
more
real
profitable
equipment, and
easy,
now it's
with
3D.
features like special reporting capabilities to ensure full control over your cattle feed quality, simple installation thanks to pre-wired and pre-plumbed systems for a seamless installation
Like you
experience.
think it's sitting on the floor right there, piece by
And
piece, and
flush
it's
hopper
all
and
animated.
conveyor systems allowing
Photorealistic
for quick and easy
animation.
switching between ingredients, preventing cross-contamination and optimizing your cleaning process. Even after your purchase, Apex supports you.
So even incorporating that in your videos, like takes it to the next level. It adds some production value, shows that you know what you're talking about with your aspect. And you can even take these to trade shows, events that you can show your client, oh, I like this product, how does it work? And you can pull that video up and show them nuts to bolts, how it works from interior to exterior. And that's just through animation.
Cool. So let's get down to like the real nuts and bolts of it, right? So Dexter, how can you measure success of a video? And maybe Rich, what metrics matter to you when it comes to video?
So for me, I mean, we play mostly in stark and contiguous counties, right? So it's a different market than when I was in DC, where nobody knows everybody. And around here, everybody knows everybody. And when we put out our monthly newsletter, when you guys come in and do a commentary, so one of our staff will do a 30-second commentary on one of the articles. The hit count on that on our LinkedIn page is probably thousands of times more than just when the article goes out. They click through everything else because all of a sudden they know it's a person they very well may know, and they want to hear the story, and they know it's 30 seconds. So for us, it's a lot more on, we're not going to be TikTok, we're not going to be Twitter guys, X guy, I don't know what the hell that is.
Musk guys.
Yeah,
Musk
exactly,
guys,
right? But on LinkedIn is a kind of our bread and butter, and when we see those click-throughs, we see those coming back to the website to see the videos, we know that it's working.
I mean, in my field, it's all about likes, clicks, and click-throughs to the website and stuff like that. It's kind of hard for me personally to obviously keep track of every single client that posts a video. When they post it, do they get the likes, do they get the shares? So it's good to hear from the client when things like when your videos go, hit a couple thousand. Like it's good for them and us, because they knows that we're doing the correct job, hitting the mark for them, and they're people that are looking for that content and information. Obviously, you can have a video go crazy for 1 million views, but like your next video can go like 100 views. So, as I said earlier, consistency kind of drives that boat. But success, I don't really know how to measure that. Make sure my client's happy with the product that I'm putting out, and checking all their boxes is a big component of my job. So,
Yeah, awesome.
Can I just say that I'm not supposed to talk about it?
No, you're not. You can't say it.
It gives me to hear Rich Craig say LinkedIn is our bread and butter.
Jeff, I remember, it was 18 years ago. I said, Jeff, I'm not a social media guy. I don't have a Facebook account. I don't have any of that stuff, right? And I'm like, Jeff, what is this LinkedIn thing, man? He goes, Rich, it's business social media. He said, you should really get on that. And I trusted Jeff. And I remember, we were Mulligans. I remember this conversation. And so I did. I signed up for it, and now I think I've got thousands of followers all across the country, and I think the firm has close to 10,000. But it's the only reason, because I hated social media. Still do, but that's a different issue.
Yeah. There's lots of things, lots of tools we hate that we have to use.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
there's another one to add on to
The
the
first
list.
social media I was allowed to have.
There you go.
That is not a joke.
Probably a good idea. It's probably smart.
All right, so Dexter, we're kind of winding down the first quarter of 2025 here. What are some trends in video marketing that you're seeing in 2025, and what are you kind of most excited about as this year goes forward?
Yeah, like I said earlier, the 5 to 7 second videos are big right now. I see more long form videos popping up on Instagram, YouTube. I've watched a lot of YouTube as it being the second biggest search engine other than Google, who owns both of them. So you got 1 and 2 there. But more long form brand videos to understand the brand that I'm shopping with. The big push is, American made. I want to know who's making my product and, where they came from, how they started. And being able to watch those videos gives me a better chance of buying your product. I feel more connected to you. I want to support you in that aspect and not to, throw my money to Temu. And so, because you see the Temu commercials every 5 seconds, you get an ad for Temu. And it's like, I don't want to buy that product. I want to buy something that, I can rely on and trust and, at least help grow in that aspect. And so trends like that are what I'm seeing, brand videos, important ones. And also AI generated content. It's good and bad. AI is still working its way through the system. You can use it for, writing your social media content. You can use it to help get your video, the SEO you want to, with all the hashtags and whatnot. As I said earlier, just be careful with AI. It's bit some people in the butt. And so just be careful how you use it until it's, 100% fleshed out. So.
Yeah. That's great. I think that really transitions us into the next video I want to show you guys for a client of ours, Mac Trailer. This was kind of the first project that we took on for them. They came to us and said, hey, we want to show off our trailers and we want to do it in a badass way, right? They're a pretty cool company, obviously made in America, have a really good story. So it is a little bit longer. Just want to share this video with you guys. So the concept with this is that brand overview. What are you about? What do you do? Why do you do it? Right? So go ahead, Leslie.
America is a place where big ideas are born, where success is measured not by where you are, but by how far you've come and who you've helped along the way. After years as an employee in the trailer industry, Michael A. Connie envisioned a better way to do business. He knew the key to success is found through hard work, problem solving, and treating someone right. In 1994, he began Mac Trailer in a single bay garage. With the help of a growing team of experts, Mac Trailer quickly expanded from a one-man operation into a full-scale trailer enterprise with production spaces totaling more than 1.5 million square feet. While some things have changed, Mac Trailer remains rooted in its small-town values. We understand that families and businesses around the country are counting on you to safely deliver on time. Our trailers help you deliver the coal that powers our nation's electrical grid, the lumber used to build a family's first home, the wheat that becomes a bakery's first loaf of bread, and the fuel that keeps America running. You can depend on Mac Trailer to help you get the job done right, because we only succeed when you do. You can hit the road knowing our trailers have been rigorously tested by our in-house R&D engineers and carefully assembled by skilled craftsmen across the nation. We build our liquid tank, flatbed, dump, pneumatic tank, straight truck bodies, and transfer trailers to meet your most specialized hauling needs. Our lineup has expanded over the years as we've welcomed brands like Mac LTT, Beal, and Trailstar into the Mac Trailer family. We're building on their legacy of success so that you can build yours. Whether it's your first haul or your last, our authorized dealer network across the US and Canada will be there to help you find the trailers and parts you need anywhere you go. With Mac Trailer, you can rest easy knowing our repair department is here to support you during your most challenging situations. No matter what you haul or where you haul, we are dedicated to getting you on the road so you can deliver on your promise and your load. Mac Trailer. Experience excellence.
So in that video, you see kind of a mixture of the 3D elements, the drone footage, a lot of different shots and ways to go about explaining the product, but also drawing in some of that emotion into it, right?
Yeah.
The small roots, family company, right? So
And that was what, 2.5 minutes? And, you know, nowadays those are a little longer, but that gives you all your information in one video, and then those can be broken out into how many different social media cuts to, and that just drives you back to your YouTube page, getting more views and more click-throughs and stuff like that.
Yep. So Rich, what advice would you have to give to a business owner that's maybe thinking about doing video marketing or, you know, investing in a video, something like that?
You know, for us, again, this is, I don't know if it's relevant to the room, but for us, it was just a matter of, most businesses have competitors, right? So for us, it was just a matter of, the first video I think we did is just getting it out there to say who we are and why we're different, in our own words, right? So I think that's a good place to start, is educate versus promote. So we like to educate our clients on why we're the better choice and what we do and how we do it, versus being a car salesman out there just trying to sell this Camaro.
No features and benefits.
Yeah.
And kind of my last question here, and then we'll have some time if the audience has questions. So for both of you, if you could pick one type of video content that businesses absolutely need, what would that be? Whether it's a brand overview or short form video or maybe some product explainers. What do you think, Dexter?
I would say the brand video, 100%. And they can be long, they can be short, but you know, getting that person who's going to either buy your product or use it to know who you are, you know, where you came from. As I said earlier, they're more likely to buy with you. You can make 220 social media videos a week. They go up for 5 seconds, they come down, they're not going to stick there, and they're not going to drive you, you know, they might drive the envelope a little bit, but when they are looking for who you are is your brand video, and that lands your pages, your websites, and that, you know, you can use that in any meeting you go into to find out who you really are. So
Yeah, I would second, I mean, with what I just had initially alluded to, but this, same kind of thing. I mean, you know, I'm a Sandler guy through and through, and at the end of the day, the 30-second elevator speech, that's what I would put on there. If I had to do one, I want the client to know who we are, what we do, in my own words.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
I agree.
All right, I guess we'll open it up to questions from you guys. Anyone have any?
Rich, I got a question for you.
Debit's on the right, credit's on the left.
When it comes to your audience, right?
Yeah.
You think of accountants and who your ideal client is. In social media, we know a strategy, who that ideal watcher is. What is your ideal person looking at those videos? I mean, is it a company or is it an individual?
It's a great question. And one, it's a company. Two, I'm going to let Jeff Karcher cringe a little bit if you want to watch him when I talk about this. You know, when he came to me, I don't know how long ago it was, and wanted to start really pushing this stuff, I said, Jeff, we have all the business we need. We don't need a lot of new business, right? He said, no, Rich. He said, what you need is your website to represent who you are, right? Because I said, look, we're not out there trying to do SEO. We're not out there trying to bring in new clients. But what we want is the clients we're going to target to have that website represent who and what we are. And that's really two targets. One, the ideal company that we're going to focus on, right? And so our core is probably that $10 to $40 million company. We do companies that are, I mean, we do Mac Trailer, right? I mean, it's $1 billion companies. Right. But that's our core. And secondly, recruiting. Getting that talent was the other thing. So we had them focus a lot of the videos on a day in the life, what we do differently for the staff, that kind of stuff. So we were the anti-SEO, but we wanted that website and the videos and everything we did to represent who we are. So if I can get, hey, ABC company, we think you're a great company, come look at our website and see who we are.
For the record, that still drives me crazy. I want to drive leads.
Say, do you want to answer that question?
I have a question. So for short content videos, that's what I do at our company. And if I'm putting something up, I always get nervous, like what I can and can't do. So it's, you know, important to tag appropriately, get the mentions, and so sometimes I just go for it, you know. And I think it's okay, but is there guidelines to that, like you should follow?
That's a good question. They change daily. It's basically whatever Facebook and Twitter and Instagram do or do not like at that point. And so what I say is, hit every little nook and cranny you can. If you can tag them or use the song correctly, if you want your songs, like using song on TikTok and Instagram, like known music is allowed. So you can add the Beatles to it. It might go farther than just a regular video. But I don't know, go for it. I mean, what's the worst they could do is ask you to take it down.
Right, so I guess it's like etiquette, like what's proper etiquette?
As far as tagging,
It's
like
the Wild West, to be
community
honest with you.
individuals.
Are you asking that, sorry, I'm gonna jump in here. Are you asking that comfort, because I think you have to establish two things. A, what the internet will let you do, which is Dexter's point, that's gonna change every day. What's okay there.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then it's, what does the guy to the left let you get away with, right? What is your boss?
The brand, yeah, like,
I guess that's what it is.
Right.
Okay.
So set those guardrails.
But other people
Internally.
too, like they don't know, like their people don't know. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, can I take a photo? Or and they're like, yeah, sure. Or like, I got permission to do something, but they think they have approval, but then their boss like doesn't like it. You know what I mean? I guess we're all kind of like figuring that part out. So I want to get that exposure. I want to be like, hey, look at us.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what you could do is tag them in it. If they don't like that you tag them in it, remove the tag. But that's still your content. You own that content. You took that photo, so that content can still be used where you want to use it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And the other part of my question was video or music. So like, I do everything in Adobe and I'll put rights to it so it's all clear.
Mhm.
And it's really good. It makes all the difference.
It
But
does.
people don't listen. You know what I mean? They don't.
No,
So-
yeah, you get probably 15-20% that listens to music, but the
it's so
the
big.
captions.
Algorithm is
The
always
algorithm
listening.
is what's searching for that
Oh,
song.
really?
So like if you go on Instagram and tag the Beatles, that algorithm sees that you use this trending song, it's going to put you on their trending page, which entitles you to go to all these other people. But then you get to YouTube where you got to be careful because they'll pull your video down because it's copywritten. So
But I guess that makes sense from like a business point to like a regular customer. Like a lot of us are like, oh, we're just gonna do LinkedIn. Like I don't wanna do Instagram, I don't wanna do this. So is it relevant or not, which is another conversation.
yeah, I think always putting some kind of sound behind your video. Obviously, if there's no talking, then something there for them. If they do click it, they can hear something.
Yeah.
But if it's
I'll keep doing it.
If it's talking, I recommend getting I have these 2 sets of microphones here that we got that is connected to my camera. Having that good audio, having that good audio makes the hell of a difference in your video.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the language there, but it really does. Like it makes it so much better when you can hear the person instead of using their iPhone microphone.
For sure.
And so
I didn't realize it plays into the algorithm though. So
it
that's a
does.
good point.
Yeah, if you can tag, so like tagging a bunch of things in it, obviously keeps it keeps it bumping. And if you find a trending song, if you do use Instagram or whatnot, there is I don't necessarily know LinkedIn's policy with copywritten music. I don't believe they like it.
Yeah.
So we do Adobe Creative Cloud, their audio. Obviously, you license it. You got to pay a fee
Definitely
for
do
it.
too.
But I tend to try to find close to trending songs off of there that sound like
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, in the video world, music takes about, if it's a good video, like an hour to find a good song. And that makes your
It makes all the difference.
and it makes your video. Yeah, your video could be really bad. You got a good song,
Yeah.
and next thing you
For
know,
real.
that song changes the whole editing process. You're editing
You have Ariana
quicker.
Grande in the back. It
Yeah,
doesn't
like,
matter what it's happening on the video.
So you're making better cuts, and it's more appealing to you. And I always say, like, I get to the point of a video where I don't like it, it's done. Everybody else likes it. I don't. I'm good with it. I'll move on.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But
Well, it'll be interesting just to see how people take the information and like apply it.
Yeah.
Like, where do we learn? Where do we go? How do we know what to do?
yeah, and there's some good like what are they, TED Talks on it, or master classes that talk about social media world, but some of them aren't relevant now because yesterday's social media is not tomorrow's social media, and so we have to be careful with which direction we head in, obviously. So
Yeah, LinkedIn is on a couple. I joined those as well. And they're okay.
they're informative, yeah. They're that person's opinion, obviously. Like, this is my opinion on your subject, so just doing more research and making sure that every bolt is covered is all I can really say on that
Just make
aspect.
your boss is happy and then you're fine.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's the moral of the story.
I think my question is, so we're a service-based business,
Okay.
and we get pitched by TV commercials all the time. you know, and our demographic is homeowners, and nowadays the first-time homeowner is about 34 years old. How important, I guess, what is your guys' stance on TV commercials and doing those videos for TV, or is it kind of outdated?
I mean, any publicity is good publicity, right? If you have money to spend and put the commercial out there, like that can be used not just for that commercial. So you can put it on your website, you can use it on any social media platform you want, but that, you know, it depends on how much they want you to spend on that commercial. Some places, like if you're doing Super Bowl ads, they're what, $3, $4, $5 million an ad? And some places are paying you, like you can pay for like a couple $1,000s and get your ad there, but who's it seeing, when's it played? You don't want the 3 a.m. ads, right? You want the prime
give
time.
those for free.
Yeah, and so you want the prime time, so you'd be paying more money there. But those could be beneficial to you. It just really depends on where you want to spend that marketing money. If you want to save it and spend it on using social media ads or finding a billboard or cold calling, do it that way. If you want to use the commercials, do the commercials.
Right. Dylan, I think a part of it is just finding, testing it a little bit, seeing if it works, and balancing it between investing in whether it's social media or on your website or through TV, right? You mentioned that 34 is your average first-time home buyer. The question, my next question would be, okay, is your target audience first-time home buyers, or is it people who have been in their homes for 20, 30, 40 years?
Yeah. And is that age group watching TV? Like I'm 36. I don't watch TV. I watch a lot of YouTube videos or Hulu or Netflix. Like promoting on there is different than promoting on like your local cable company. I might watch the Cavs game and see a bunch of car dealerships, but that's specifically for people watching the Cavs games. So social media ads is probably more beneficial. You're hitting it on YouTube. Being the first search engine in Google when it comes up, or video when you're searching for that, hitting your SEO marks and your tags is way more beneficial than spending $10,000 on a 30-second commercial that'll play 10 times.
Right. That was perfect. Thank you.
Do you feel like organic followers are more value than people you would get off of paid boosted posts?
Paid boosted posts get you. That's a tough one because you're gonna see. It just depends on who's clicking through more, and I don't have those numbers to be able to tell you that. People that are finding your channel organically will probably be more likely to know you because they're targeted by that algorithm.
Right.
But you spending the extra dollars gets more people to see that, and so that person might see that and might send it to somebody. Oh, that person needs those windows, so I need to send this to them. Or something like that. So you either see more people see it, or you kind of hit one or two people that want that product.
Yeah.
I'd say go after both. Why not? Like spray it out there.
I don't know. Again, it's out of different perspective. I feel like people don't want to pay. They don't want those customers. You know what I mean? Like just random.
I'd throw it out there. You can never go wrong with putting social media videos out there. Obviously, don't deviate from your brand image.
What are you like paying for it? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You can just throw money at LinkedIn and Facebook.
And get more and more views. Well, have you done that, and have you seen responses from that? Have you seen an uptick in?
I have my own personal experiences for yes, and you only do it if it makes sense.
Right.
So
Agreed.
I was doing it, but like the people that were like contacting me, like I can't serve. For me, I couldn't serve them in Texas, so it was wasting my money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you can flag a certain area in those and deviate where you want those in the age group, target market.
Yeah,
Like you can go deeper into those statistics and keep them in line with what you want in your brand. I would do it that way and put your money in that category and not just throw it out there for everybody to see it. Let's do it.
Another perspective on that is, depending on what your marketing is a little different, right? So LinkedIn is gonna be more expensive, right? But when you're buying users on social media, it's extraordinarily cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
We're talking hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
So to any business in this room, it's a rounding error, right? So spending a few $100 to uncover people that don't know you, that might need to know you, because you can focus that with demographics a little bit and how you do your ad spends. Why wouldn't you do it? If you are a business that wants to grow. Obviously, Rich Craig, you don't want to grow, that's different.
Yeah.
I didn't say I didn't want to grow. We just grow organically on our own, all right? We service our customers.
So I would say, I would definitely experiment with spending a little bit of money because it's overwhelmingly inexpensive. Like before I would spend money on TV, right? You can't track it. You spend
Yeah.
it, you pray. You can spend it on social, and you're gonna spend a fraction, and you can track it.
And honestly, some companies are looking for other companies, what they're doing, how many views they're getting on it, and they're gonna wanna piggyback off of that.
Right, so
And
like
so-
our LinkedIn page, we get stats, and it'll be like, you are ranking 2 out of 10 out of these companies, blah, blah, blah.
So
And
what's
yeah.
one doing that's beating you out? Like, I would go look at theirs and see how
Well,
different.
we're not even doing anything paid, and we're like killing it in
Yeah.
number 2 organically.
Love that.
So, that's why I don't wanna go to them and be like, hey, spend money, because like, we're doing it.
Right.
Which is cool,
Mhm.
but like, we could get a lot more. Is that worth it? Is that where we wanna go,
I think you'd stick your toe in. Throw a little bit of money here and there at a post and see where that takes you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get any numbers or anything you want to see out of it, doesn't get there, you still got, the money in the
You could,
bank.
like, really crush it though.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
I mean, like you're talking a couple $100 will get you, we did one a couple months ago, right? We put some money behind it and it took it to, how many views was on that video? Yeah, like it took us more than, like 5,000 more than what we saw before or something like that. So, and that's just because it saw more people.
Yeah,
And so-
excellent. You gotta try it, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the industry.
Absolutely. And it's an easy click through. I mean, $10, you'd even do it on Facebook. Like it's small.
Right, yeah,
So,
right.
Your organic audience is always going to be there, right? And they know who you are, typically. On LinkedIn, it's a little different because as people like it and repost and that kind of thing, it gets to a broader audience. But with advertising, you're getting to new people that may have no clue who you are.
Yeah,
They might need to know who
We
you are.
run a small budget, about $150 a week on Facebook, and they convert really well, actually.
Yeah.
They do, and it's just, I do it myself, actually. I go on Facebook, it'll do $150 throughout 7 days or 10 days, and we kind of pick the locations.
Yeah.
And we have 3 offices, and they do convert. I mean,
Really?
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're service-based, so, but it's
Each
just.
industry is different. You just
You're
have
right.
to evaluate if that makes sense.
and I give you some pointers. Like you have a staff. Everybody has staff. Your staff should be sharing and posting your stuff. You're making this content. Why isn't anybody else sharing it? I shouldn't be the only one that sees my video on my LinkedIn and my Instagram and my Twitter. Everybody should be sharing it.
How do you do that? How do you make that happen?
I mean, that's something you can implement. I mean, like, it's tough, but like,
Get up with the BB gun around the
I mean, the staff at
fire,
TKG always likes what TKG posts on their Instagram and they share it. It's just one of those, like, I guess it's an environment thing where everybody likes to promote your company.
Yeah.
And then that's, that goes back to obviously leadership. So,
Start with your sales guys and tell them that it will grow their network, and they'll do it.
yeah,
Make it pay
there you
more.
go.
You got newer people that are more adaptable, and then you have other people that are, comfortable, and I think maybe don't see the value in it.
Right.
So it's hard to be like, hey, no, it's totally worth it. Like, someone new is really gonna crutch on it. Like, me and Jordan are like, so,
I mean, you can run a campaign around it. Like, I'll give you, not necessarily giving out stuff, but like,
That's right,
we would like to
motivation.
see you do more things here. So here's something you can help boost the company by liking these posts and sharing these posts and spending 5 minutes of your time doing that. That person, like, I'm not going to see the same people you see or he sees. And so therefore, all 3 of us reach 10 other people that have never seen it before.
It helps the company.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Really?
But if the content really resonates, then people will just share it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, no
That's
matter
right.
what. And you don't have to put money behind it, which is great.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Well, do we have any other questions? Of course, I believe Rich and Dexter will both be over in our
Yeah, I'll go over and grab a.
over for snacks and everything afterwards. So feel free to mingle, ask them any more questions you have. I'll
Don't
be
ask me
over
to do your
there.
taxes.
Yeah.
Not today.
Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Yeah, Holly
thank
made a
you.
great charcuterie board over there. Like,
Yeah,
she killed
yeah,
it.
Holly
so-
put all day into a charcuterie board,
And it
so
looks
please
great.
eat it. Thank you, everybody, for coming. You will all be on some sort of a list from Leslie to hear about the next one of these that we get on the calendar. We hope you can make it and appreciate everyone's time today.